gente, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos a un nuevo video. Today we are diving into a new bullet journal for May, and I was really feeling watercolored watermelons for this month's theme. I've been wanting to dabble with watercolor for a while now, and I'm so happy I did for this theme because it's actually become one of my favorites that I've done so far. So if you have a journal and some paints laying around that you want to play with, I invite you to follow along with me and try this theme out for yourself. Before I started recording, I had drawn a little colored pencil version of me snacking on some watermelon on top of my May title, and I thought it would be super fun to incorporate her throughout my themes for each month, just to see how creative I can get with her. And for my watermelons, I decided to draw them as triangular pieces because I felt that shape would be perfect for randomly placing around the paper. And I also played around with the opacity of each watermelon so that way the watercolor would really show. I'm obsessed with the airy feel that watercolor paints give off. I think it's so beautiful and it just gives a really nice aesthetic to the composition as a whole. This is my first notebook from Archer & Olive, and I'm so in love with it. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And the weight of the paper is perfect for handling watercolor paints, markers, and deep colors, so you won't have any bleed into the other side of the page. If you've been doing journaling and painting for a while, you know how important that is. And they also have the most beautiful designs on each of their notebook covers, so I'm really looking forward to the next one I'm going to buy. And if you haven't heard of them before, they're a woman-owned brand, so I definitely think they're a business worth supporting. This isn't sponsored by them or anything, but I did want to give them a shout out because I just think it's a really amazing brand. To finish off my cover pages, I added the quote, "Life is sweet," on the right page because I feel like it's perfect for tying together the whole theme. I decided to continue using watercolors for the rest of the theme. I used a really thin brush for the calendar squares and a thicker one for the titles of each day. And I also incorporated the feel of the watermelons too, so I used red for the sides of the squares and then green to close them off at the top. And I think together it all looks super cute and really simple. If you're curious, each of my squares is 5 dots by 5 dots, but of course you can adjust the size completely to your design. Instead of using a marker to write out my titles, I used a black colored pencil because I feel like it adds such a nice balance to the watercolors. I also wanted to apologize for my hair trying to steal the show over here. It's definitely been having a moment over here with the quarantine and everything, but eventually I will tame it. Anyways, I added some watermelons dancing around the top and the sides of the page, and it just looks so adorable. I love this page so much. you guys, but I get super relaxed from watching people paint in real time. So I kept these shots in real time for some soothing watercolor action. This page is my habit tracker page, and to be completely honest, I rarely ever use these trackers, unfortunately. But something about them makes me want to take my habits seriously and track them so I can see my progress and celebrate my discipline at the end of the month. And it's kind of funny because I'm a Virgo, and Virgos apparently are supposed to love routine, but actually I find it really hard for me to stick to routines even though I love the idea of them. So this May, I'm really going to put myself to the test and see how closely I can stick to each of these habits. I chose to track my drawing, waking up at 8 a.m. every day, spending time with my Bible, working on YouTube, posting to Instagram, working out, and making time to practice my piano and my ukulele. I was watching Oh No Nina's bullet journal video for May, and she incorporated a 1 line a day page, and I loved that. I used to have one of these journals, and picking out my favorite part of my day to remember was always really fun for me. So I added this page into my spread, and I'm really excited to look back on it at the end of May and just read all of my memories. I think that will definitely be really special. Something I really want to get back into is budgeting. I used to do it a lot on Excel, and I loved organizing my money to see where I would be spending it. Honestly, it made me feel like I was on top of the world. But my subscription for Microsoft Office recently expired, and while I love Excel, I'm going to save money and use my bullet journal to get organized instead. I really do think that budgeting is something that scares a lot of people, and it definitely scared the cojones off of me. But once I started researching how to do it and trying it out for myself and just seeing how effective and helpful it was, I was hooked. And so I highly recommend it to everybody, especially now, because it can really change your life. I feel like for women especially, money is something that is taboo and can be scary, but it doesn't have to be, and it can actually be super fun. It's definitely exciting to see how you can save up for like your favorite makeup or clothes, or even if you want to take a vacation, and just like as the time passes, seeing that you have saved up so much money to buy all of the things that you want to buy. And finally, we've made it to the weekly spread. I wanted a spread that would fit one page since I didn't have any other pages I really wanted to incorporate into my spread. On Pinterest, I found a few that were so beautiful, and it was really hard to choose which one I wanted to use first. Eventually though, I decided on this one, because there's opportunity to include a little bit of your main design into the spread. I love having the calendar for May in the center so I can refer back to it, and all of the blocks for each day surrounding it. I just think it looks so beautiful. So here is a little overview of the entire spread. I'm so proud of myself for this one, and I honestly can't wait to start using it. I love how each page ties into the next one, and seeing the theme incorporated throughout the spread just makes me super happy. I love the watermelons, they're so cute. So if you guys decide to try it out, please tag me on Instagram. I would love to see your recreations. So thank you guys so much for watching. La pasé super bien con ustedes, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Adios!